All right, let's talk about something that, let's be honest, strikes a little bit of fear into the hearts of many of us: public speaking. But you know what? That fear is often just a sign that you're missing a clear plan. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how to structure your thoughts and deliver a presentation that really truly connects.
I mean, how true is this? We can all relate. The moment you stand up in front of everyone, your mind just goes completely blank. It's pretty wild. But for a lot of people, the fear of public speaking is actually ranked higher than the fear of death. So yeah, the stakes can feel incredibly high.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you take all that nervous energy, all that anxiety, and turn it into focus? How do you build something that your audience will not only understand, but actually remember long after you're done? Well, that's exactly what we're here to unpack.
Okay, so the most important work you're going to do happens long before you even think about opening a slide deck. Seriously, it all starts with building a solid foundation, and that means asking a couple of simple but really powerful questions about your why and your who.
This right here, this is your core framework. It all flows logically from your why and who to the what, and then finally to the how and where. If you get these foundational pieces right, every other decision you make becomes so much easier. So let's start at the very beginning.
Let's kick things off with why. You have got to be absolutely crystal clear about your intention. What's the point of all this? Are you trying to inform them of something? Persuade them to take an action? Or, hey, maybe you're just providing a valuable service for people who have insomnia. The point is, your why defines the single most important thing you want your audience to walk away with.
And this is the golden rule. Your intention always governs the content. Don't write a single word, don't design a single slide until you have total clarity on your why. Everything else, and I mean everything, flows from that.
Next up, who. It is so easy to forget this, but the people in your audience, they're on your side. They're your customers, not your enemies. They actually want you to do a good job. So you have to tailor your message specifically to them, right? You wouldn't explain quantum physics the same way to a third grader as you would to a panel of actual physicists. You always have to match the complexity to their level of expertise.
All right, so once you've nailed down your why and your who, it's time to actually build the what, the meat and potatoes of your presentation. And this is where things like clarity and structure become your absolute best friends.
So when you're creating your content, always start with the big picture. Give your audience the forest view first, so they have a map in their head before you start showing them all the individual trees. This lets you frame the whole thing as one cohesive story. And above all, live by the KISS principle. Keep it simple and short. Seriously, simplicity shows confidence.
Of course, for every do, there's a don't. And these are the classic traps that are so easy to fall into. But the good news is, they're just as easy to avoid once you know what to look for.
Okay, here's a great little metaphor to remember. Don't apply lipstick to a buffalo. What does that mean? It means throwing a dozen different fonts and a bunch of clashing colors onto a slide doesn't make it look creative, it just makes it a confusing mess. It totally distracts from your message.
The wall of text. This is probably the #1 most common mistake. Overloading a slide is a guaranteed way to lose your audience. Why? Because people read way faster than you can speak. The second they're done reading that slide, they're going to tune you out completely and just wait for you to catch up. You've lost them.
So just remember this mantra. Say it with me. This is a slide, not a guide. Your slides are there to support you. They're a visual anchor for your key points. They are not a script for you to read from, and they're not a textbook for the audience to study. Think of them as signposts, not the entire road trip.
And finally, be predictable, but in a good way. If your title is in the top left corner on slide 1, you better believe it should be in the top left on every other slide. When you make your audience hunt for information on each new slide, you're just making them tired. A uniform, clean layout is professional and lets your actual content be the star of the show.
Okay, you've got your purpose. You've got your content. Now for the final, crucial piece of the puzzle, the how. This is all about your delivery, how you actually bring your message to life and, connect with the human beings in the room.
Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. Practice your timing and your flow until it feels second nature. Play with your voice, modulate it for impact. And use strategic pauses.
Sometimes silence is way more powerful than words. Make eye contact to actually connect with people. And please, for the love of all that is good, always do a dry run with your tech. The last thing you want is to be taken down by a faulty projector cable.
Now this might be the most powerful piece of advice in this entire explainer. If someone asks you a tough question and you don't know the answer, don't panic and don't try to fake it. Just be honest. Saying, you know what, that's a great question and I don't have the answer, builds so much more trust and credibility than just making something up. Authenticity always wins.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, so if you're going to walk away remembering just one thing, let it be this super simple 3-part structure.
See? It all boils down to this simple flow. First, you build your foundation by nailing down your why and your who. Second, you craft your what, your content, with total clarity. And third, you master your how and where. That's your delivery and your logistics. That is the entire game plan, right there in a nutshell.
And never forget this, the people listening to you are on your team. They are there to learn, to be inspired, to connect with you. They genuinely want you to succeed. So now that you're armed with this framework, the only question left to ask is, what story are you going to tell?